Gloria.
Irna. Your favorite setting, I see.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Forget I said anything. Sit. Did we know each other, do you think?
In real life? I don't know. I imagine we must have.
We have Douglas in common.
Yes. I taught Douglas everything he knows.
He worked for me.
I heard he quit.
He had his vision, I had mine.
We have that in common. We must have known of one another at least.
We probably did.
After all, you wouldn't have had a job if it weren't for me.
Oh,
Irna Phillips, mother of soap operas. Literally.
it's true.
I was a school teacher. Wanted to be an actress, but they told me I was too plain for it. Went into voiceover work. Then a studio executive asked me to tell a story about a family. So I did. I wrote about a family, mine. I called it Painted Dreams. This was 1930. Do you know why they're called soap operas?
Of course I do.
No, wait, of course you do. Because they were aimed at housewives. They were 15-minute serials on the radio. The sponsors were soap manufacturers. After Painted Dreams, I created Today's Children. There's more to this story, ask me later. And Woman in White. Then I created The Guiding Light.
Later shortened to Guiding Light.
As the World Turns, Love is a Many Splendored Thing, and Another World.
All gone now.
Off the air. Another World lasted 35 years. As the World Turns lasted 54 years. Guiding Light was on radio and television for a total of 72 years.
But they're
Just a second. I also mentored some of the best writers daytime television would ever see. Douglas Marland,
Rest in peace, Douglas.
Agnes Nixon, who would go on to create One Life to Live, All My Children, and Loving.
All gone too. Rest in peace, Agnes.
And Bill Bell, who created The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless. Both still going strong.
Rest in peace, Bill.
I wrote in my memoir, never finished, that I fictionalized my own life. I was pregnant at 19 with a man I wasn't married to. I wanted to marry him, but he left, and the baby was stillborn. I gave that story, my story, to one of my characters later on. One of the things I became most known for was the realistic kitchen sink style drama, when the characters would sit and talk about what was going on in their lives. It became one of the things soaps became most known for.
Mm-hmm. And it almost killed them.
What?
Gloria Monty. I worked in soap operas too.
You're welcome.
Just wait. I worked on The First 100 Years, The Secret Storm, and Bright Promise. Then, in 1978, I was hired to save a soap opera that was on the verge of cancellation.
Not one of mine.
No, you were dead by then. The show was General Hospital. I had 13 weeks to turn it around. I took one look at the first 3 episodes, which were now an hour long, and I said they were not up to my standards, and we were shooting them over again. Your way didn't work anymore.
It still worked.
It was time for a change.
The audience wanted to see characters that reminded them of themselves, their friends and neighbors.
I never liked soap operas. I wanted to do something different. I treated General Hospital like we were in prime time. There was no difference between a daytime show and a nighttime show. The same kinds of storylines, the same production values. So I hired Douglas.
My Douglas.
I got rid of a bunch of old, boring characters and focused on a young couple. Laura Vinning and Scotty Baldwin, and we gave them a spoiler, someone who tried to come between them. Nurse Bobby Spencer.
The troublemaking young vixen. That was mine. I came up with that.
How the ratings turned around, and then I brought on a young actor from another show I'd done, Bright Promise. His name was Tony Geary.
Luke.
He played Lucas Lorenzo Spencer, Bobby's brother.
Luke and Laura.
Yes. Luke raped Laura. Well, I never admitted that, although we treated it as such. I called it a seduction.
It wouldn't fly today.
You'd be surprised what you can get away with if the writing and the acting are good enough. Then Luke and Laura went on the run, and they fell in love for real. Whirlwind, romantic adventures, dancing in department stores, mobsters, cross-dressing hitmen, mad scientists who tried to freeze the world. The most famous wedding in daytime television history. Scorpio, the Quartermains, Frisco and Felicia, Duke and Anna.
All of which would not have been possible without me.
All of which happened in spite of you. Your model was running out of steam. Then I came along and showed the world what these shows could be.
I've decided if we knew each other,
We probably did.
I don't think we would have liked each other.
You may be right. We were very similar.
So I hear.
Both of us were quite severe.
Notorious for wanting things done a certain way.
My way. And what's wrong with that?
Not a damn thing. We both had tempers.
Boy, did we. There are stories.
Tell me.
I was quite vocal when displeased.
I had a group of kids accidentally push a heroine in a wheelchair into traffic on guiding lights.
I forgave the boys a lot. I was a lot tougher on the women. I told one actress that she had just worked her last day after she finished her scene because she wanted to work in prime time. I pushed my super couples to date in real life. But here's the thing.
I was right.
It made for better television.
I showed people reflections of who they were.
I gave them an escape into something better.
There wouldn't have been soap operas at all without me.
Or me.
There used to be so many.
General Hospital is still around.
Now there are 4.
As of the writing of this play, General Hospital,
The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless.
Days of Our Lives.
I had a hand in that one. Long story.
At one point, there were 19, from 1969 to 1970.
Now there are so few.
Well, cable TV, the O.J. Simpson murder trial.
Budget cuts. They won't do location shoots anymore. You'd be miserable. I'd be fine.
I'd get creative.
You can do a lot with 2 people talking over coffee cups.
After a while, though, the audience wants something else, something more. Sooner or later, an ex-husband has to turn up at the wedding to catch the bouquet.
But it all comes back to this. 2 people talking about interesting things.
I think you're right. We probably didn't like each other.
Who has the time to be liked?
Not me.
It caused problems.
With the networks.
The networks, with the actors and other writers.
Would you
Have done things any differently?
Hell no.
We might not have liked each other.
We probably would have respected each other. A little.
A little. 4 shows left.
Down from 19.
Yes, but the shows in prime time,
Oh,
they don't like to call them that, but we know better.
they're
soap operas.
Continuing dramas about people you can't stop watching.
And today's podcasts.
What is a podcast?
A radio serial. Serials on the radio. That sounds familiar.
So, we'll see what happens next.
We'll see.
I know we're both dead now.
We are.
If you had the chance, would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
Me too.
Me too.
The things I could do.
The stories I could tell. It starts with strong characters.
I'll agree with that.
You almost don't need a plot.
Well, no, you have to have some idea of where you're going, but you can adjust along the way. Soap manufacturers.
Soap manufacturers.
Well, thank you, Irna, for the coffee.
You're welcome, Gloria. Shall we do it again sometime?
Oh, is that really necessary?
I suppose not.
I'd say it's been fun, but
I know you didn't mean it. It's been interesting, at least.
I'd say revealing.
Yes. Revealing.
So, instead of fun,
We'll just say
goodbye.